WhatsApp isn't really end-to-end encrypted. The company does have access, and our boy Zach can read those messages at any time.
Oh boy, here we go again.
The claim, if true, would have a lot of repercussions with regards to people's take on privacy. It really does not matter whether they offer it or not. We have a case of distrust as part of your brand. Hey guys, before we continue, we've realized that 84% of you are not subscribed. So please help us out.
It will go a long way to helping this channel get known a lot more.
Our goal is to reach 100,000 subscribers in this quarter. Stop laughing. And each and every subscription takes us there. Thank you. Moving on to the next story, I want to talk about WhatsApp and the end-to-end encryption. So recently there was a lawsuit that was filed by called Queen Emmanuel, a class action lawsuit, not a criminal lawsuit against WhatsApp or against Meta, where they claim that WhatsApp isn't really end-to-end encrypted. WhatsApp is the largest messaging platform globally, and the claim, if true, would have a lot of repercussions with regards to people's take on privacy. Of course, WhatsApp claimed to use the open standard for end-to-end encryption, but they use their source code is closer. So whether they truly implement that, is anyone's guess. But the claims, if they are to be believed from this lawsuit, is that the company does have access, and our boy Zach can read those messages at any time because it's not true end-to-end encryption.
There's no secrets anymore, huh? Every website, every search you do, they know.
And the thing, as I was reading through the story that came across, is that no one could say for a fact that they do not have end-to-end encryption. But it's so indicative of...
Wait, when you say no one could say for a fact, is it just because of the fact that it's closed source?
It's closed source, they couldn't quite prove... Audits? Yes, they couldn't quite prove...
There can be a third-party external auditor or something.
Yes.
That's such an easy thing to verify, right?
I do not think so.
Well, WhatsApp claims that they use, is it the Signal protocol?
Yeah.
For end-to-end encryption. So how difficult is that for a security firm to come in and verify? To
come and test?
Yeah, like an
I am not sure, to be honest. But the assumption that, behind this case is, I think they've had some researchers say that it's actually not so the case. Or I think it was more, if I'm not sure, it could have been possibly from leaks or people claiming internal sources that they do not actually... that they have, backdoor to people's chats. And I want to say, I don't know if those claims have been verified. But in fact, that's the whole point of why I brought up this story, in the sense that it really does not matter whether they offer it or not. We have a case of distrust as part of your brand.
Pardon?
That's an interesting angle.
Yeah. As organizations, you have to guard the brand that you cultivate. What are you known for? Now, every single tech company has the brand that they've cultivated. Google is all about these big ideas, and they're everywhere. They literally had projects that were like, hey, very moonshot ideas. Like that was their brand. They go all out, right? Apple was very personalized, very premium. They're all about
security
privacy.
And privacy. Security. Okay, privacy. Let's go with privacy.
Let's ignore the fact that they were willing to share some of the iCloud keys with the CCP, but they're all about privacy. And even our AI will run on the device because we just cannot let your sweet data.
Except when the price tag is right.
Yeah.
It's just business.
And so that's a brand. And so no amount of, or rather, it's easy for them to storm any one individual case that breaks this mold, because that's something they've cultivated. Meta, on the other hand, have been like the complete opposite. The brand that they have cultivated, despite having the largest social platforms, that with regards to every metric that you can count, they are the largest. They have solidly built a foundation of having a brand of distrust. Whatever these guys are saying, we
take it with the game.
Yeah, we just cannot trust. When they say, hey, we don't read your messages, maybe it's true.
I mean?
But we're surely not going to take the word for it. And so even reading about this lawsuit and people being like, it became a huge deal despite not having conclusive evidence that this is the case. For me, it was like, I see why such a thing can blow up, because it does not matter whether you guys had it or not. The brand that you have cultivated so much up until this point has been one that showed a blatant disregard for people's privacy or people's preferences. We're building shadow profiles even if you're not our customer. And all these things only worked to undermine their brand. Now, this doesn't mean that their business will shut down. After all, like I said, they're still the largest social media platform, bar none, on this planet. I think they're the only few companies that can say we've reached 100% of the market or 100% of the addressable market. And so it's not necessarily that any one of these things will kill them, but it only serves to undermine any efforts that they can. They're going to have to spend a lot of effort and a lot of money just to beat the perception. Like, they're going to have to spend money not to be safe, but to create the perception that they are safe.
For me, that's crazy.
If I look at these big tech companies, I think Meta should just strive as hard as possible to build a perception that's close to Google. If there's any company that I can think of that abuses personal data, probably more than Facebook, I'd say it's Google. And this is not just...
Now, of course, I cannot comment on that.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
Hey, I know you cannot comment on that, but I just think it's because of things like search, YouTube. I was even thinking about how it was existential for Gemini to be in search, right? So that it cannot disintermediate the business, which actually ties to another story that I was thinking about, the ChatGPT ads story.
Your conversations are private. If you have a sensitive conversation, that will never have ads in it. And the conversations are never shared with advertisers. So while we do the matching between the best ad that can be a useful thing in a conversation, the advertisers don't get to see that. We do that matching internally.
The ChatGPT story is, these guys for the free tier want to make ChatGPT more accessible to many people. So obviously they want to open up ads. But that opens up like a can of worms. Hey, me, I'm happy for them to do whatever they need to do to make the business make sense, of course. But I'm just thinking, what can you say is truly now the LLM response when I'm doing a query? Or is it like, ad weighted or something of that sort? Just the same way we've all known we can never really 100% truly trust Google's page rank.
Yeah, and I think the biggest challenge, specifically for OpenAI in this case, as opposed to, let's say, Google with regards to search, is the idea of, you see, with ChatGPT, you're getting one response.
Yeah.
Whereas with something like search, you see at least some are marked as this is sponsored, this is an ad, and you have a few of them where it's like, maybe this is not the best. So, and you have that sense of, I have options.
I still freedom. I still have freedom.
But it only tells you, hey,
Yeah.
Where's the best place to get coffee?
Yeah.
Hey, you should go to Evans's coffee shop.
Exactly.
There's no...
it's definitive.
Yes.
It's explicit. There's almost a finality in the response that you get. And you and I can prompt the same thing and get different responses. And that is the most... I don't want to say... That is a very difficult territory of trust that OpenAI is kind of getting into. Yeah, They're almost going down the Facebook path, in my opinion.
Yes, do you think it can undermine their product?
100,000%.
I think it will. Maybe more precisely, do you think it's a big enough problem that the majority of the users will not be willing to use ChatGPT for free or on the open tier just to circumvent that problem? I
genuinely think people loved ChatGPT because it did not feel like Google Gemini, where with Gemini you do a search and then you get the Gemini response first. So you almost always at the back of your mind had the idea of like, this is not ad-driven. But with ChatGPT, it's an honest final response. I think when you go down, in fact, I was thinking about this, even in Netflix, like at some point, the lower paid tiers in Netflix started adding ads. They do ads for games, they do ads for shows. This is on a tier that you've already paid for. So, I don't know, it's a very slippery slope when you get into the ad business, but I get the problematic case for it from a bottom line perspective where we're trying to drive.
That they're burning too
revenue.
much money.
And that therein now lies for me the problem with Meta. They've just not been too smart. But I mean, if you know your moat is not gonna be on, and you see there's pros and cons to this. I actually genuinely think Apple is behind in the AI game because they just don't literally ravage and use people's personal data as much as Google would. So inherently, you're always going to be behind Google in AI because you just don't have enough training capability that Google would. Basically, just make use of every video on YouTube or anything anything on search and things like that.
Actually, I think for Apple, and this is just my own hypothesis, I think they try to get into AI being at the core of their product, the product launch. Siri can do this and that. I honestly think that was a pressure from the market to do so, and I don't think they themselves had such a big interest at that time to roll out AI, to bake AI into their products. And the reason, my reason for this is, I think these guys understand their moats. The biggest moat is their distribution.
Yes.
In the sense that.
Okay. Yes.
In the sense that,
deep distribution.
with the iPhone, they don't have to be the first.
Yeah.
Because by the time they can afford to kind of wait it out to find the fine line of usefulness vis-a-vis privacy, find the working model that can run on the device, so that it can have that perception of privacy. And I think it's only because of the whole industrial pressure that, hey, you guys, what are you guys doing with AI? That they went down the path that they did. My guess is that they were much more willing to just kind of wait it out, see who's the winner, or rather see, even if not any one company, but any technology or any approach towards use of AI that would work for them. And knowing that they already had the benefit of distribution, rolling it out can take them from being 0% to whatever, even if it's 20% of the market share, simply because all the devices now will just you can purpose one of the buttons to be a Siri button, and just like that you have better distribution than any one of the other AI organizations. And so I honestly think that for them, with regards to the AI, is that they jumped the gun, but it's because they were being pressured, not because they necessarily wanted to.
I agree.
I could be wrong,
and it shows because of the quality of what they put out, right? But you see, the one thing I can never fault Apple for is they chose a hill to die on. They knew they have such a clarity of their moat. They have such a clarity of the things that people identify with their brand.
Yeah.
That even the moment you see them compromising on it, they will just know. You see, I think I was being told this by someone. Strategy is sometimes understanding what playing field you want to choose and having such a strong, compelling conviction on a theory of winning in that particular playing field. So I feel like Apple choosing to, let's say, do the $1 billion deal with Gemini or something, to have Gemini inside of Siri, is extremely strategic for them. They already know this is not the moat that they're going to be winning in.
Yeah.
So a big part of leadership and a big maturity in leadership is being strategic enough to choose a playing field. Okay, we're going to win in the distribution game, definitely better than Google. But if they're going to win in the fundamental LLM space, okay, let's bring all the LLMs within our ecosystem. We distribute it, but let's not play in that particular field. And then when you have a strong theory on what you're going to be winning in, it gives you such clarity to operate and to function well. I think that's the biggest failure in Facebook. Like, people cannot necessarily tell, like, what's their overarching like strategy? What's like the why behind
because
them?
as far as I'm concerned, Facebook has been throwing a lot of money at AI, and they're the only ones who seem to not have made any kind of progress or
and then
have anything.
And then they were doing the whole Meta thing, and then before that, like, so it's more like it's a conflicting vision of like where we're being taken.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I know I'm doing it really, really well.
Yeah, I think you've actually nailed it quite right. When you talked about them pivoting to the metaverse and we're going to be, I think it's a sense of we do not have a clear identity of what's our
playing field.
Yeah, what's our playing field. And so as long as something is trending, best believe we will
deploy.
Yes, we'll deploy capital, we'll hire as
win.
many people, buy as many companies as we need to be ahead. But we do not necessarily know why we want to be ahead in this specific category of the industry. But we just know that the cost of being left behind, at least from our perception, is too high.
Nigga gotta do what a nigga gotta do to be the nigga that a nigga wanna be. I do preach, nigga.
But you see now that therein lies a danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, therein lies a danger. It's like Bushido, like in the Japanese code. You know, you commit seppuku. But if you choose one hill that you're going to die on, this is my why, this is how I'm going to be known, your why could not be as strong in 10 years. Is it lindy? Will it withstand the test of time? And so, of course, there is an aspect of you being able to adapt and you being able to change. Like, you know, technology is fast evolving.
Yeah.
But if that still can't be communicated, and I think Facebook will keep, or rather Meta will keep getting into situations such as this. But it's also like a lesson.
And it's also good to see it in this context that their successes outside of the first product, which was Facebook, has been through acquisition of already established products or businesses. I don't think they've had that track record of building
0 to 1.
Their own kind of new
except
product
for
from scratch.
Facebook itself.
I said with the exception of the first product, everything else that has followed that has been an acquisition of something that already works. And perhaps now
can you say something different of Microsoft? With the exception of Windows and Windows products.
I mean, Office, Azure, Xbox.
But Azure came with, AWS. But to be fair,
they have multiple areas where they have built something
from 0 to 1.
Yes, from their own capacity into a whole thriving product, which I think for Meta that might be a bit different. It's not necessarily the case. So perhaps they're also in that search of
what can we do with 0 to 1?
And we're also in a time where it's not just easy to go buy an Instagram or buy a WhatsApp. Like it's not the same environment that they had when they were making these purchases a while back. And so now they truly have to build on something, and which means they have to chase the trend as opposed to either being certified or looking into, again, as you said, what is our moat? What's our key?
What's our thing? But you see, I think that lesson also just applies to even all of us, even us guys who are building businesses that are not as big yet. Like it's the need to almost always wanting to take a step back, to look at the forest from the trees. You know? Like, okay, what is the playing field I'm gonna be playing in? And do I have a theory of winning there? We can't all win in everything at the same time.
Yeah.
But
and if I do, I must die on that hill.
Yeah, like you must have a conviction. I think for Apple, they chose privacy and they gained distribution because of it. Navigating that conviction in this day and age, where it seems like missing the AI train, you're just completely missed out, is what's going to filter out the guys who actually stay in business versus now the guys who are going to come in and fail. And remember, when I was telling you, even with this agent thing, I think I was just thinking about it. I was thinking, and Maltbook was a good example. Like, I've never seen a Reddit, like just a big social media network blow up in a week and just die just as quickly. And I was thinking, even with this whole agentic AI business, I feel like 90% is going to be vaporware, and 10% is going to be consolidated into Fortune 500 companies quite easily. It will bring utility. I think there is signal from the noise, but definitely it's only going to be with around 10% of the winners. And again, it's the guys who are going to step back and look at the strategy and have really, really strong strategy in winning in this. And yeah, may we step back as well, ourselves, in the sectors we are competing in, and just try to see.
Yeah. And with those kind words, that word of wisdom and advice to the youth.
The youth.
We're here to talk about the youth. Anyway, if you've enjoyed watching this, please do like, subscribe, hit share. You know what to do.
Yeah. Actually, I have a
we want to-
couple
want
of
to get to
interesting
300.
things. We have a couple of
We had a
interesting
number of things we wanted to
lined up
discuss.
this year.
I want to talk about Maduro, but I was told I cannot talk about politics.
Yes.
I just want to talk about the sound booms. I don't even care
No.
about.
Oh yeah, I heard that stuff, man. Like how those guys were taken out by some sonic.
Everything they were
weapon.
describing, I was like, this sounds like the movie plot of like aliens.
Yeah,
invade.
I know.
Like a few of them show up. Suddenly we are all just vomiting and
Yeah, we're vomiting.
we've lost our motor skills. Like,
And it was in a matter of minutes before he was on a helicopter being taken out of there.
but
Anyway.
please like, subscribe. For those hitting and subscribe, don't forget to hit confirm, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Cheers.